Hello all, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. It has been a while since I've filmed much of anything. I have been dealing with the worst cold for like the past week. I'm still dealing with some symptoms and it's really put a damper on filming. So apologies for the lack of videos, but I just have not had the energy. I've had a headache. I've had a lot of congestion, coughing, all that fun stuff. So that is why there have not been any videos. I am, however, hoping to vlog this week to share some of my reading. I have started listening to the audio of 56 Days. This is by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is set during the start of the COVID pandemic in March of 2020 in Ireland. We are following Kira and Oliver. They meet in a supermarket and hit it off, kind of go on a few like introductory dates right before the pandemic starts. And they decide that they are going to move in together during the lockdown. And that is kind of the premise of the story. It has a lot of different timelines. They're not drastic, like difference in terms of days, but obviously it is called 56 Days. So it starts off the very first chapter with 56 days ago, and then it kind of flips to other timelines. So today, 50 days ago, 40 days ago, whatever. So there's a lot of jumping of the timeline in here, which is fine. I am listening on audio, so thankfully I feel like they're doing a good job distinguishing between like whoever's talking. So I am enjoying that, but I did get to page 107 today, and the next chapter is 50 days ago. So we are kind of hopping back and forth a lot, but basically in the today timeline, the police are called because someone in an apartment building smells something that they are afraid might be like a decomposing body. Turns out they are correct. However, we don't really know who the dead person is for a good chunk. We only know if they are a guy or a girl, like about where I am in the book is when we found that out. So even though we have a guess of who it was, we don't know that for certain. And there's definitely some lying going on with at least one of the characters. So we have an unreliable narrator, and it's just interesting so far. So I wouldn't say that I'm enjoying it, but I'm decently intrigued, and yeah, that's kind of my initial thought. This is on my 12 in 2025 list. I did not do a 25 in 2025 list this year. That's just too many books considering other things that I want to read, and I really do make a point to read the books on the list, so I didn't want a ton of books on there. I did 6 books that I was really looking forward to, and then 6 randomized books. This is one of the randomized books. But yeah, I will continue to bring you along and let you know how the book is turning out. This book is very heavy, by the way. Like, the pages are really thick. It's not a super long book. Let me see what it's got. It's got 305 pages, so it's not a very long book at all. And yeah, we'll kind of see what I think about it. I've never read anything by this author, so this will be a first, but so far it's starting off decently, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going. I am very curious about some of the like inner monologues that have been happening, hinting at some secrets, some things that are gonna come to light. So anyway, that's that. That's this. I do have other books that I would like to read in this vlog. I also have a loan from Libby, an audiobook of The Stolen Queen by Fiona Davis, which I'm really looking forward to. And then I also have checked out the next book in the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. I am on book number 4. So hopefully that will be what you see in this vlog. We will see how things go. I am hoping that we do indeed get a snow/virtual learning day this week. We are supposed to get like sleet, snow, ice stuff on Wednesday, but it is not supposed to start until like 8 a.m., which is a problem when you are trying to like decide if you're going to call off school or not. So we'll see what happens there, but I wouldn't mind an extra day. Give me a chance to get over what I have going on here completely. So anyway, that's that. I will keep you apprised, obviously, as I go through this one. I figure if I can listen to as much as I did today, I will be on page 200 something, so I can give you some more thoughts, and then this should definitely be done by Wednesday. So yeah, going well so far. Curious to see what all is going to come out in terms of reveals, but it's a pretty good start, so happy with that. Hello all, it has been several days since I last talked to you. I have finished in that time 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. I wound up really not loving this one at all. I'm giving it 2 stars. I had some issues with the method of storytelling in that, as I already mentioned, we're flipping back and forth between days ago, today, etc., which was clearly used as a way to like build suspense, but for me it wasn't working at all, really. None of the twists and turns that came out as I went through the book were particularly surprising to me, and overall I just felt like it was okay. So 2 stars for this one. I'm glad to have read it because it had been on my TBR since it came out in 2021, so at least it is checked off. This was on my 2025 TBR, so at least that is a success. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. There are a lot of people who really like it, but I am not one of them. So there you go. That's my thought on this. Yesterday, well, first of all, this week was very weird. So I mentioned when I talked to you that we were potentially getting like weather on Wednesday. We actually only had 1 day of work this week with kids because they had a water main break that put almost the entire school district under a boil order. So we did not have school Tuesday. It did snow Wednesday, so they turned that one into a snow day. We would have been out regardless because of the boil order, but they were able to tag that one as a snow day because we did get a little bit, like minuscule amounts of winter weather. And then we were out Thursday again because they could not get like a defining time for when the boil order was going to be lifted. And obviously when you have to cook meals, you need to know whether the water is safe. So yeah, I had 1 day of work with students. Yesterday was a teacher work day, so I did go in. That's when I finished listening to this one. And I also started another one, which right now I'm trying to find where I am. Okay, I'm right here. I am on page 105 of this one. This is a nonfiction. It's called The Quiet Damage. It's by Jesslyn Cook. The tagline is QAnon and the Destruction of the American Family. It's taking a look at 5 families who had a member of their family fall down the QAnon rabbit hole, and it is trying its best to explain how and why people have fallen and continue to fall for these conspiracy theories. I understand what the author's trying to do, but for me, it's just completely bonkers, and I just can't fathom believing much of what QAnons believe. But I am liking the overall look at the families that she's following. She chose 5 very distinct families, so you can see that it's not just like one group of people or one area or one like socio-political economic status that falls for this, because the 5 families shared in this book are all very different. But yeah, it's kind of just head shaking that people have fallen for what they're putting online, and the fact that it took far too long for social media networks to ban that kind of content is just, it's enraging. So anyway, I'm reading that. This one's not very long. I'm almost 50% of the way through. So here I am. I'm gonna finish off this chapter that I'm listening to. The chapters are divided by the various families. So yeah, I will chat more about this once I have like more thoughts, but so far this is very interesting. It's written in a very engaging writing style. The author narrates the audiobook, so I like that. And yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm liking it because the content is not something that's likable, but I am finding it very interesting. So that is what I'm working on audiobook wise. Today I'm going to do my best to read the fourth Wayward Children book. There's no S on the end, which I can't even remember what it's called, but here's the cover. I have it out in the living room. I haven't started it yet, so I'm hoping I can finish that one today. They're very short, so very quick reads, because I would also like to squeeze the next Nancy Drew into this vlog as well and potentially read that tomorrow. I am off school Monday for President's Day, so as I said, this was a very weird work week. We had 2 AMI days, 1 snow day, 1 teacher work day, 1 day with students. So yeah, definitely different. But I'm still like dealing with the remnants of this cold that I can't get rid of. So I was very glad to have kind of the extra days off. So before I sign off for right now, let me show you my cute new mug that I just got in the mail. So here it is. It says, "I love books." These are from Jennifer Velez, I believe. I will leave her website link down below. She's got a bunch of different ones. I ordered the one that says, "Wake me when it's over" as well. It's a black rimmed mug, but I have bought several things from her, several mugs. She's got a great collection of stuff, and you can go check it out if you're interested, but I saw this one and thought it was very cute and very fitting. So yeah, that's where we are. I'm going to go ahead and possibly start the Wayward Children book, but I definitely do want to get that done today. So I figure I will come back and chat with you once I'm about halfway through that one and let you know what it's about. So I will see you then. Hello all, it is reading update time. I have finished In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire, and I didn't even come back and talk to you at the midway point because I read this in one sitting. I really liked this one. I'm giving this one 5 stars. It's my favorite of the series so far. We are following a girl named Catherine Lundy, who ends up going by her last name Lundy. She finds a door into the Goblin Market, and unlike a lot of the other children, she comes and goes from there a few times. The Goblin Market has a rule that by the time you turn 18, you have to like declare your intent to either stay or go, and that's kind of her fantasy world. The Goblin Market is very much based on like rules and logic. It has a concept of what they call fair value, so that ensures that like people don't get cheated. And I really liked the whole setup of the world and Lundy as a character. This one was just really beautifully written, very emotional at the end, and it was very good. So 5 stars for this one. I am now going to turn my attention to Nancy Drew number 38, right? The Mystery of the Fire Dragon or something like that. And then I will come back and chat with you once I get to the midway point of that one and let you know how it's going, but the goal will be to finish that today and close out this vlog. So I will see you then. Okay, change of plans. I literally made it 1 chapter into the Nancy Drew and I'm DNFing it. This, okay, so when you read the original Nancy Drews, you have to know, obviously, that you are going to run into cases of racism and things like that because of when the books were written. However, this one was like over the top. So in this one, Nancy gets a call from her aunt in New York City who is worried about her neighbor, who is a grandfather and his granddaughter who are from China. And the granddaughter, whose name is Chi-Che, has gone missing. So that right there, I was like, oh boy. Okay, the name, not a Chinese name. We also have Ned, who just happens to be studying abroad in Hong Kong, at a university called Chung-Chi College. That is all in the first chapter, y'all. As I was looking more into this, we also have cases of George donning yellowface to pretend to be Chi-Chi in an attempt to flush out her abductor or whatever. And she does it not once but twice. Nancy also apparently can't tell the difference between Asian people and follows somebody onto a plane that she thinks is Chi-Chi but is clearly not Chi-Chi, and I just can't, y'all. I just can't. This one was too much. It's like over the top with the racist elements, especially at this point in my life in 2025. So I'm DNFing this one. I'm not counting it in my Goodreads challenge at all, because I literally read one chapter and was like, oh no. So anyway, would not recommend reading this one. I will still be continuing the series, but for my own mental health, if you will, my sense of not getting angry at things, I just could not read this book. So that is where we are at the end of this vlog. I did finish, what was it? 3 books? 2 books? 2 books. 2 books on top of all of the random snow day, water, main break, whatever. So 2 books, 56 days, which was disappointing, 2 stars. And then In an Absent Dream, which was very good. Again, 5 stars for this one. So overall, not too shabby. I do still have 3 books to read from my February TBR, which I am hoping to tackle in next week's vlog. So you can stay tuned to see how I do. But on that note, I am going to go ahead and sign off this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And if you made it to the end of this video and would like to leave an emoji in honor of In an Absent Dream and kind of what happens to people if they are unable to pay for their debts and things with the whole fair value system, you can leave a bird emoji of your choice, because that is what people turn into in the goblin market. So anyway, I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.